What's good, Council of Comics? We're outside for another episode of Outside with Comics. Yes. Let's go.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
What's good, Council of Comics? We're out here for another episode of Outside with Comics. It's just that time where we go outside. It's getting warmer out. We can enjoy the air, get fresh air. We don't have to be stuck inside the house. You know, I like to go to certain places and just take out some books and read. You know what I mean? So today I'm going to be reading probably Spider-Man, some other stuff. I'm definitely going to be reading this Batman right now. So let's go. Alright, so I finished Batman 134. So as we know, Batman's in a different universe from his. Failsafe sent him to another universe in the last story arc. And he's basically becoming the Batman of this universe because Bruce Wayne is dead in this universe and he has to figure things out. So at the beginning of this issue, Batman and the Selina Kyle of this universe, which is a bad Selina Kyle, but then she sees Bruce and I guess some kind of light sparked in her. They're talking and he basically tells Selina, I gotta go take care of him, you can't come because if I fail, you don't want any repercussions back on you. And you should be there to help people when it's time. So Batman goes into what is this universe's Arkham, and he sees thousands of people locked up, including like Lex Luthor. Barry Allen is locked up as the Flash. He's crazy. Look, like it's a little crazy right there. But Batman's like, I can't let him go because then he'll kill everybody in the world. But then Darwin Halliday, which is the Red Mask, starts speaking. Batman's like, this is over. And Darwin Halliday's like, yeah, playing the socially minded billionaire is just a drag. And then Batman's like, well, what's this all about? Because Batman wants to keep him talking to get his plan, and then he'll take him down like in classic fashion. And he asks him if it's about the multiverse. And Darwin says, you're the detective in your world, right? It's always been about the multiverse. He used to have a pharmaceutical empire that he was building since he was young. He was a chemist. He started to do all these amazing things, but then he felt it was sabotage. That one of the compounds he made blew up, and it showed him something. And he says it showed him something horrible and something beautiful. And what it showed him was the Joker. So this Darwin Halliday wants to become the Joker of this universe. So he's basically using these multiverse experiments to see past times, go through other universes, to see the moment where the Joker turns so he can turn and he can become like the Joker. So he starts to laugh. He puts a force field around. He escapes. Tells him that he's gonna send this multiversal gas throughout the city, and there's nothing Batman can do about it. So Batman's like, no, I gotta stop this. I can deal with him later. So he's going through, and he tells Jewel, who's the sidekick in this universe, to get everybody into the tower because that's the only safe place in the city from the gas. He tells Selina that she needs to help Jewel and know you're listening, and you need to do it because you're a good person and you can do this. Meanwhile, Batman meets up with Ghostmaker of this universe. And they start fighting. Batman's like, he was my equal when we were at our best, but now I'm like all tired and beat up, and he's amped up on Venom. And so he tries to get away from him, look for the gas line, but then Ghostmaker stabs him through the right shoulder. Batman's like, I can't run, I gotta fight him. So they start fighting. He pulls out the blade. They go down a cliff. Ghostmaker, now calls himself Ghostbreaker, lets out the prisoners of Arkham, and one of the prisoners is a rogue Superman. So he's kind of shook, but then Batman goes inside his head, you're Batman and Batman. Then he says to Superman, I walk as a man, but I am your nightmare. So I don't know why, but that scares Superman away. Maybe there's something in the lore or something that I don't know about, but that scares that Superman away. Batman gets to the source. Ghostbreaker is there. Meanwhile, it switches over to Jewel getting all the people out of the city. Selina Kyle does go to help her. Alfred calls Leslie. She's a doctor. He's telling her she needs to get to the tower. It's the only place that's safe. Leslie's like, no, I gotta stay here because I gotta help people. Alfred starts arguing. She's like, I'm not arguing with you, Alfred. And he's like, okay, I love you. Be safe. So Batman and Ghostmaker start battling again, and Batman's doing his best to take him down. He's just like, I just gotta take him down. He cracks Ghostbreaker in the face, cracks his plate, then he makes it over to the source, and then he ends up shutting the source, but then you see Ghostmaker about to throw, and you see a red square. So then what happens, this is the twist to me, Batman gets his hand chopped off. Like, our Batman gets his hand chopped off. Now, the implications for that in the future stories is he's not going to have a hand, he's going to have a robot hand. He's going to do some DNA stuff to grow a new hand. I thought that was very interesting about that. But Red Mask is still got some stuff out into the city, and then the last page is bring out the leather wings. Alright. So there's a backup story, but I'm not going to talk about the backup story. So, good issue from Chip Zdarsky. It's a dope Jorge Jimenez cover. I like how they're trying to get the different Joker from that timeline. The hand getting cut off, that's the big twist. How's Batman gonna move forward now that he's one-handed? But good job. Alright, next one up, Spider-Man number 7. End of the Spider-Verse Part 7. Gotta be honest with you, I've only read like a couple of these Spider-Verse ones, but this is the issue with the introduction of Spider-Boy. So that issue with this cover with him on it is blown up tremendously. So let's see if the story matches all the hype. Shall we? Spider-Man number 7. End of the Spider-Verse Part 7. So it opens up with Peter Parker from the 616 that was taken from the timeline earlier before he became Spider-Man. He's working on some machine. This book is wild, man. It's hard to keep up in this book because there's so many spider people. So come to find out that they killed Morlun in the last issue. Well, not killed him, but stabbed him. And all the spiders that he ever consumed over all so many years got released back into the big Spider-Verse thing. So now they got all of them. And there's big splash pages of all the Spider-Man, which is pretty cool. and they have to basically take down the big bad. She's like, this isn't over. I'm still gonna end the Spider-Verse. Morlan, they show a shot of Morlan getting thrown, and he's like, he never felt so weak in years, or so famished. He must feed, but first he must hide. And then it says, to see where Morlan hides, check out Web of Carnage #1. So they're all fighting the big monster lady. And it's just so many splash pages, man. There's like, so like, the art is by Bagley, which is amazing. This must have took him forever, bro. But the art is pretty good. So they're fighting, and then Miles comes with the Spider-Mobile, and while they were all fighting, he was like, he calls it Tokyo drifting through dimensions. He was gathering up all the other spiders, so there's even more Spider-Men that come out, including the big mech ones. They're pretty cool. So, and then they start fighting the lady. And then they're like, oh, only Peter Parker can defeat her. He's the chosen one, blah, blah, blah. But then the Peter Parker that's from the earlier timeline that was building Machine looks really cool. He's got the little weapon right there. He said he was building something to stop her. And so he shoots it, and he ends up defeating her. It's real quick the way this stuff goes, real quick. So then all the spider people are like, oh, well, I didn't see it, but he's from the 616, so he's just from the earlier time, so he's the chosen one. So this whole time when Peter Parker was the chosen one, he wasn't, the older Peter Parker wasn't the chosen one. Anyway, so the first spider totem person, that person in there, the Egyptian one, gives a little totem to Aranya, and then she reweaves Spider-Woman. She got unweaved back in like the first issue or so. They thought she was dead. They weaved the regular nerdy Spider-Man into the real Spider-Man. It's basically concluding everything. Peter calls Aunt May and he's like, we should have Thursday night dinner, just making sure you're okay. And she's like, good. Then Scarlet Spider, Kane, he gets woven back in. Everybody's like, oh, that's a surprise. But then the one thing we were all waiting for, they said there was another one, and Spider-Boy gets rewoven, and he's kind of pissed off because he's like, Peter, Miles, he's like, you guys don't remember me? And then he's like, it's messed up, and then he bounces. And they're like, well, his story is for another day. So that's your introduction of Spider-Boy. He's like, we've been on a million adventures together, you guys don't remember me. So, and this basically ends, they're sending everybody back home, and then, you know, Peter realizes he's just the Amazing Spider-Man of the 616, and he has to worry about that. It was okay issue. I thought it was going to be a lot more to Spider-Boy. This is kind of more like a cameo of Spider-Boy than a first appearance, but you know how the comic book industry is. Some people say first appearance, some people say cameo. Here's what it is. Just make sure you go get the cover with the Spider-Boy on the cover. So, Dan Slott, to write something like this, you know, I gotta give you props because it's just all over the place. Mark Bagley, excellent art. So yeah, Spider-Man #7. There you go. So guys, that's another episode of Outside with Comics. I know I'm braving the wild. I'm ending showing you that I'm gonna read King Spawn #21. See how it goes. But I want to thank you guys for joining. If you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button below. Like some videos, share with your friends. We got tons of videos all over the place. So remember, we come out here to just get out into nature, get away from inside being in the house. It's springtime, get some fresh air, clear your mind, read some books outside, and I can't wait till it gets a little bit warmer so we can actually be out here in shorts, not have to carry everything, but all good. If there's anything you'd want me to read, please give me a shout out in the comments, and I'll see if I get that issue, and then I'll check it out on the show. Alright, so thank you for watching. From myself and the rest of the Council of Comics, I love you. See you next time. Be safe out.